Hello everyone, welcome again to VigneTalk Sessions. I'm here shooting from my personal home office, but I did not want to wait too long before you guys got the next video. This channel is focused on the business analyst profession. We're going to talk about all the various topics and all the various elements that make up this role in this channel. So stay tuned if you are interested in this particular subject matter. But for right now, I just want to get this information out to you guys so you know exactly how the sessions are going to be done. The sessions are going to be broken down as so. First, you're going to have the session name, which is going to basically give you the overall theme of the educational matter we'll be reviewing. Then under the theme are going to be various subjects under that theme, and under those subjects are going to be topics. As we go through each subject matter and complete them, we're going to do what we call knowledge checks. Now, in a knowledge check, we just want to make sure that we have just a few basic questions that has some important information that we review, making sure that's understood, making sure that's conveyed, and we'll go through that together. Also, we're going to have a goal that's set for the session. You're going to know the theme, you're going to know the topics, you're going to know the subject matter, you're going to have the knowledge checks, but you're also going to know what the goal is. You're more than welcome to take notes. You're more than welcome to send your questions in and your feedback so we here can understand those things as well and get information back out to you to make sure this is being as effective a channel as we want it to be. Let's go into our first session. Our first session theme is the attributes of a business analyst. Now, the attributes of a business analyst are going to be broken down here in terms of definition, in terms of worldview, and also in terms of personality traits. So, with that, let's go forward. Now, the goal of the session to review the attributes of a business analyst is to assist people to understand the mindset of a natural business analyst and to even enlighten those who unknowingly possess the attributes needed to become a business analyst. BAs are going to actually say, oh wow, I see why I'm a BA, or oh wow, now I understand myself more so I can communicate better, or oh wow, I didn't know that I actually identify with these traits. Maybe being a business analyst is a role I need to consider for myself as a career path. So now, session 1, subject 1, a business analyst defined. In this, we're going to talk about the topics of the formal definition of a business analyst. We're going to talk about the fields in which business analysis occur, and we're going to talk about the background/history of the business analyst profession. Now, one of the favorite things I like to do is start off with like a little cartoon. Lights move up a little bit. It kind of makes you laugh. Obviously, it looks like a swing that's being constructed on a tree. So basically looked at let's say the requirements or the acceptance criteria for this is that I want a swing set off a tree. And the first one is how a customer explained it, how a project leader understood it, how the analyst designed it, how the programmer wrote it, how the business consultant described it. My favorite one, how it's documented. We'll talk about that in future videos, but I'm very much a stickler for documentation. What operations you installed, how the customer was billed. Some of you customers out there that have to pay for this, projects to be done, and you're like, oh my God, you told me I was just going to get a swing set, and now I have enough to create 6 flags. And how it was supported, probably because of the lack of documentation. And then you have what the customer just really needed, a tire and a rope and a tree. Simple. Let's swing. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of cute. A BA defined. Topic 1. The formal definition of a business analyst. The business analyst formal definition, as established by the International Institute for Business Analysis, the IIBA, is that business analysis, which is a practice of enabling change in an organizational context, by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. It talks about enabling change, it talks about defining needs and recommending solutions, but at the end, it delivers value to the stakeholders. Again, points of emphasis. 1, a practitioner of. Now, if you take the definition of a business analyst and put the word practitioner of, now practitioner means one who practices the art of or the science of something. So a business analyst is actively working and operating or practicing what business analysis is, which is enabling change, defining needs, recommending solutions, and of course, as I keep driving home, delivering value. Between you and I, one of the best questions I like to ask when I'm performing a task or when asked a question or there's possible additions or subtractions from scope or just an idea about things, the questions I ask myself, the question I may ask the team or the person or individuals I may be interacting with is, how does this deliver value? Because if it doesn't deliver value to the project and to the effort that we're doing, that is tangible, that is intrinsic, that actually brings more to the table than while we're doing it. A BA defined. Topic 2, the fields in which business analysis occur. Now, another word that I brought up in the previous video is the word called agnostic. Now, I know it may sound a little different to say agnostic. I may have a slide here where I show what that word definition means here. Note to self. But here it says that business analysts, BAs for short, can work almost anywhere. Agnostic meaning that it can work, it covers a variety of areas to the point where there is no true one center spot where they can operate. So it's saying that you'll see business analysts can work in retail, manufacturing, healthcare, financial services, management consulting, and government, and a whole host of other areas that are not on this list. So the business analyst skills, once they've been learned, once they've been mastered especially, it's very transferable across the industries that they have available. So you don't necessarily have to become a master of a particular industry as a business analyst. Now it does help, because if you can specialize in anything, that would be awesome to have that plus the business analyst skills. You make yourself pretty marketable at that point. But you have to understand that the first thing is to have all your business analyst skills mastered, where it can make, and that just makes yourself pretty marketable across all industries across the board. Now, sometimes the BA role could be represented in different ways. So I want to talk about a few other versions of the role where these roles have some BA-ish type of responsibilities in them, or these are roles that if you are BA, it could be easily transferable into doing one of these roles. So as far as being a business intelligence analyst, now intelligence analyst usually has to do with reporting and data, where you're crunching data, where you're creating reports, where you're bringing analytics into the system. So if you're a business analyst but you love analytics, then this is probably a role that'd be great for you. Business process analyst. Now, instead of doing analytics, basically you can figure out the best processes by ways that things to be done. Who interacts with what and where and at what time, and how often. So there's also that type of analyst. The systems analyst, a person who generally works in the technology arena or engineering arena, who understands the actual systems and how they work, how they interact, their pieces and parts, and how to get the best value or get the best operations from them, based on the request that's being made of the system. So you have that, and then you have what's called a product owner. Those who work in the agile methodology already understand what this means, but a product owner is a person that basically takes on the responsibility of managing a particular product itself. For example, a product could involve some intelligence data, a process, and a system in which it is being performed. So all that wrapped together could represent a particular product. A product owner is the one who takes responsibility for the maintenance and the evolution of that product, bringing value to the customers or to the stakeholders who are the people who need to use that particular product. So they take ownership of it. They ensure that the right type of practices are being executed when it comes to the upkeep and the maintenance and the evolution and the work that's being done on that product as well. So they're very involved in every phase of the agile methodology if you understand that particular methodology of work. A BA Defined. Topic 3. A background history of the business analyst profession. Let's go over some brief history highlights. As far back as Aristotle, the division and departmentalizing of labor has been something that society and business has been putting down on paper, proposed theories, and solutions for. In 1776, Adam Smith published the first example of a business process, the production of a pen. He showed that by identifying the steps in a process, you could use the division of labor and the application of the process, assigning specialists to each step, and hence improving the quality of the product and the speed of its production. The late 1800s saw the development of the concept of business management as a specific discipline, with the works of Henry R. Towne and Frederick Winslow Taylor, with the focus on mapping out processes, planning, the optimal work approach, etc. In 1958, Armand Feinbaum released a book which the key concept was Total Quality Management, or TQM. I'm going to tell you right now, if I said that name wrong, I completely apologize. The first formal description of the waterfall model is often cited in a 1970 article by Winston W. Royce, although Royce did not use the term waterfall in that article. Royce presented this model as an example of a flawed, non-working model, which is how the term is generally used in writing about software development, to describe a critical view of a commonly used software development practice. James Martin from IBM in 1991 developed a book detailing the approach he had developed called Rapid Application Development, or RAD, as a response to the approaches of software methodologies such as the waterfall process and CMM and ISO standards. RAD was developed to address the issues of requirements changing before the software was complete. And from RAD, there was also other methodologies that was actually created to do that very thing. The thing about waterfall, and this is just a side note, is that waterfall does not allow for any change to happen from the time that the requirements are set in stone, or you should use a term, or signed off on, until the development is completely finished. So basically, all time has to stop and become static in order to get the exact benefit of the value of the deliverable that that project is supposed to give, which means business processes pretty much don't change, outside factors don't change, which means, which is basically kind of an unrealistic deal. So the problem with waterfall, especially with deal with long-term projects, is that the biggest assumption with waterfall is that the environment is not going to change, that the business process that's being executed at that time will not change. So RAD came in and said, hey, we need to come up with a way to more rapidly develop to keep up with the speed of business, so we can be more flexible to address needs of the business and the times in which they're operating, without them having to sit there and get a deliverable a year down the road or 6 months down the road, or however long the project is set for in the waterfall model, when they literally can't change anything and say, hey, wait a minute, now we're using this, can we make sure that the application can also support that? Ken Beck, Ward Cunningham, and Ron Jeffries developed extreme programming while working on a payroll project with Chrysler in 1996. What we're trying to do here is have the development process of the development methodology try to keep up with the speed of business. And so from there, in 2001, 17 people, most of the XP practitioners, those extreme programming people, got together, and what they wanted to do is create a lightweight method of programming. They released the Agile Manifesto and formed the Agile Alliance to represent the various lightweight methods under one umbrella, Agile. In summary, a major part of a BA definition is delivering value. BAs also can become a product owner, systems, or process analyst. The BA role is relatable to almost any industry. And the BA profession has gone through many stages of evolution. Well, guys, I'm behind the desk. And usually when I'm behind this desk, that means we're either going to do Q&A, where I'm answering questions that you guys have sent in to me, or it's knowledge check time. Here we are. This is subject 1, knowledge check. We're going to have some questions here that we're going to review based on the information that we have shared today. So if you need to get a refresher, go ahead, jump back, check out some of the parts of the video first if you need to do that, and then come on back and let's make sure that we understood what we reviewed today. Question number 1. Which of the following is not a part of the business analyst formal definition? A, fixing problems. B, keeping stakeholders happy. C, choosing solutions. Or D, all of the above. Remember, this is fixing problems, we're not keeping stakeholders happy, and we're definitely not choosing solutions. Remember, it did not say choose, it said recommend. So the answer is D, all of the above. Hopefully that was the easy one for you. Other versions of a business analyst type role can be defined as quality assurance analyst, product owner, solutions engineer, or technical lead. And the answer is B, product owner. While some of these other roles can work with the BA role in a project, they don't necessarily can take the form of a business analyst role. So the product owner, as we spoke about earlier, is, in my opinion, the product owner role is the next stage for a BA once he has mastered the BA skills within the agile methodology. So you should go from, maybe if you started off with a QA, then you become a BA, then you become a product owner. That's basically what I meant. It's like the progression of your career at that point. But that's a side note. Let's move forward. The following definition describes the relationship between a business analyst role and the industries in which it can work. Which word describes the relationship between a business analyst role and the industries in which it can work? A, relatable. B, engaging. C, charismatic. D, agnostic. E, A and C. Or F, A and D. While some can say that it's relatable to all the industries, it's engaging to all the industries, or even maybe, depending on the individual, it could be charismatic to people. But I think that, as we talked about earlier, the word that I used to describe it was agnostic. Agnostic means that it can basically work anywhere. It can fit into any industry, and the relationship it has is an agnostic relationship, as you can pretty much stick the business analyst role into any industry, and it can bring you value. All right, complete this sentence. In 2001, 17 people, mostly XP practitioners, got together due to their interest in lightweight methods of programming. They released the blank manifesto and formed the blank to represent the various lightweight methods under one umbrella, blank. So is it A, rapid application development, RAD? Is it total quality management, TQM? Is it Agile Alliance, Agile? Or is it extreme programming, XP? We're looking to fill in the 2 blank areas, not the dotted lines. And the answer is C, Agile Alliance and Agile. Remember, Agile was created by a group of people, mostly guys from the extreme programming world, who were creating a methodology that, again, can actually perform at a higher level in meeting the speed of the change of business. Complete this sentence. As far back as blank, the division and departmentalizing of labor has been something society and business has been putting down on paper proposed theories and solutions for. Far back as Plato, Adam Smith, Aristotle, or Henry Ford. As we talked about earlier, when we talked about the brief history highlights, the very first topic that we talked about was departmentalizing of labor, which was found to be written by none other than Aristotle. Which one of the following are points of emphasis for the definition of a business analyst? Enabling change, recommending solutions, delivering value, or all of the above? this should be very, very easy. As you remember from the definition of business analysis, and this is what a business analyst actually practices or performs or practices. They do all three. They enable change, they recommend solutions, and they also deliver value. So the answer is D, all of the above. Next, what type of industry could a business analyst find a position to work in? A, retail, B, manufacturing, C, healthcare, D, financial services, E, government, F, all of the above, G, none of the above. Remember, that business analyst role is considered agnostic, means it could pretty much fit everywhere. I know I may sound a little redundant here, but I really want to get clear that if the business analyst role is a role that you identify with, especially as we talk about the worldview and the personality traits later on in this session, you're going to fully understand that you're extremely marketable and highly valuable commodity out there, and you can very much make a name for yourself. You can very much find a niche for yourself in different areas using this particular skill set. Oh, and the answer is F, all of the above, by the way. And my favorite question, bonus, which description did this picture represent in the cartoon? Did it represent how the analyst designed it, how the project was documented, what the customer really needed? And the answer is, of course, how it was documented. Unfortunately, we don't always do the best job in making sure that the proper documentation is completed, that documentation is signed off, and also that is stored in a method by which if people come in behind us 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years later, they can say, hey, this is what they did for this particular effort, this is the change that was made, and this is the value that they deliver. Also, if there's a serious defect that's found in an application or process that have been installed from a previous time frame with previous resources, the documentation can help make the fixing of that defect a seamless process, as opposed to them not having the proper documentation to refer to. And with that, we are done with this particular subject. This is session 1, subject 1, a business analyst defined. We have 2 more subjects to go. We have to talk about the worldview of a business analyst, and we're going to talk about the business analyst personality traits, which I believe you're going to find very enlightening, especially for those who may already have a lot of time in doing the role, or those trying to figure out if this role works out for them. Thank you for completing this particular subject. Like the video if this has been beneficial to you. Also, I welcome you to subscribe to the channel. As new videos are added, you will be notified and you'll be able to follow along with us all as we go down the path of understanding this business analyst role. This is Rogers Veen with VigneTalk Sessions, closing off subject 1, a business analyst defined. Of My Visual Self, LLC. For career coaching and business analyst training inquiries, please contact us at coach@indieself.com.